All right, this is my 2017 Ford Raptor short cab base model truck, and you can do a quick walk around it. So up on top we got a inspired Overland carbon light rooftop tent, and holding it up we got a Lightner Designs rack, Lightner Designs water tank. We got this all attached to the bed rails. This is a Pace Edwards retractable tonneau cover. Just base wheels. Try to keep this thing 100% OEM, 155,000 miles on the clock. And right now what's happening is when we're going from fourth to third, decelerating, there's a loud clunk. It sounds like it's coming from the rear end. And when I go from park to drive, you'll be able to hear it. When I go from park to drive, you're going to hear a loud clunk. So we're in park, neutral, drive, neutral, reverse, neutral, drive. And you could hear that lash. I got to pull the top off to get it in my garage. We're going to go ahead and pull the rooftop tent on, and we'll show what's going on underneath the truck, and then we're probably going to drain the diff. All right, we managed to get the rack off and the extra piece of extrusion so we could clear into my garage. And there's the inspired Overland carbon light rooftop tent. I just took that thing off solo, set it up against the wall by myself. It's around 80 pounds, fantastic unit and comfortable to sleep in. Anyways, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post the camera up somewhere about here, and we're gonna put the car in drive, neutral, reverse. I'll call it out. I'm gonna take a look at some of the driveline components, and then we're gonna try to listen to what's going on inside of here. I did take off the rear pan and cleaned it, so I'm looking at all the oil leaks from under the transmission, and all seems to be pretty nice and dry under here. And also checking the oil pan for leaks. But yeah, we'll get cracking here. All right, we got the camera set up here, and what we're going to be looking at is this joint and the sound coming from the rear end. So I'm going to go start the truck. It's going to be in park. Then we're going to go to reverse, neutral, drive, neutral, reverse, neutral, drive. And you'll be able to see all the clunks. So we'll do that a couple times. And hearing a lot of lash in here. So gonna go start truck and we'll try this out. All right, now we'll review that footage and see if we can't see any problems. I'll move the camera to the back and we'll have another look and see if we can't see what's making that noise. Hopefully we got some good footage, because that's really annoying, that sound. All right, got the truck on jack stands up in the air. I'm going to go ahead and rotate this tire back and forth and pay attention to the lash and the drive line. So there's definitely an audible sound there. And there's the front there. All right, this is the drive shaft of the gearbox. I definitely hear an audible sound in there. And we're gonna slide back here and see what we see. Actually, to be perfectly honest, this sounds like that sound is coming from up here. All right, so we got the world's smallest drain pan for this Diff. I got some backup drain pans underneath and some rags in case we spill anything. I don't want to have any of the stinky smell in my garage. So we're going to pop this case over and see how much metal comes out. All right, we got the drain pan back under here. I guess we're going to drain the rear diff and just see if we got any particles in there. All right, got all the bolts loose and let it drip. I don't like playing with this diff oil. So I just take my time, let it drip out the bottom, and we'll go ahead and do the reveal now. This thing looks like it was glued on here, so it's been worked. So not really sure what I should be seeing. All right, now that I got everything opened up, I'm going to run through some tests and see if we could diagnose what this sound could be. So right now I got the rear wheels locked with the e-brake on, and I'm going to take the drive shaft, I'm going to thrust, and we're going to focus on that pinion and see if that's excessive lash to you guys. All right, we got the rear wheels locked with the e-brake, and we're going to go ahead and move this drive shaft back and forth, so focus on the pinion in there and check out that lash and let me know if that's excessive. So there's quite a bit of noise coming in there when it lashes back and forth, so maybe that's where the sound's coming from. All right, we took the e-brake off and got both wheels suspended in the air, and both wheels are free, and I'm just gonna take my hand and go move the tire back and forth. Yeah, there's still quite a bit of noise there. Quite a bit of lash. There's definitely some movement in the pin there. And this is that same thing, both wheels up in the air, e-brake off. Definitely a lot of noise, a lot of movement from everything kind of shifting around. All right, we got one wheel locked on that side, one wheel up in the air free. This is about the amount of lash and the movement. And then here's a look at what's going on in the ring and pinion. So that's half X, this is 1X. So as I'm looking in here, looks like there's quite a bit of lash in the pinion. And also it looks like these like spider gears are kind of moving on the pin quite a bit. All right, our last little test here, we got the wheel chocked with the jack there. And then over here on the right side, we got the wheel up in the air free. It's about as much rotation as I get out of it. Now we're gonna look back in here in the ring and pinion, zoom in. And here's our lash. And I'll try to zoom out so you can see how much wheel full that lash is being rotated. All right, when I thought I was done, I decided to disconnect the drive shaft, and here's what we get. Quite a bit of noise transferring to that diff back there. I'm gonna go to the other side so you guys could take a look at that. All right, so I'm gonna try to operate the flange. Here's a look at what it looks like in here. But anyhow, thanks for watching. Thank you for helping me diagnose the truck. Really appreciate your time, and looking forward to your opinions on what issue we may be having in this.